Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day, and Lord, we just ask that you be with us today during our meeting as we conduct this county's business, and Lord, just be with each and every one of us as we make decisions on behalf of the citizens of this county. Lord, we love you, and we just ask that you watch over our country and just calm our nerves and show us the way to go. And we just pray all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we'll go ahead and call Marshall County Fiscal Court to order June 2nd, 2020. We don't have any guests or correspondence. Old business, approve the minutes May 19th meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Actually, we do have a correspondence.
Yep, these are just the personnel changes for April 2020. Miranda Hanson, dispatcher, termination 4/7/2020. Laurie Ford, deputy jailer, part-time, effective 4/17/2020 at $18 per hour per Roger Ford. That's it.
Let's see, new business, item A, grant resolution 911. Is Chris here? Chris, do you want to talk about this?
Had a demo of some equipment the other day that needs to be replaced, and we had the opportunity to get it in the grant window really quickly. It closes Friday, so it was in that window where I'm pretty confident that we can get the money. So that's what this is. It's a chance to get roughly $30,000 for about $3,000. So,
Okay.
any questions?
Questions? I'll read the resolution. County of Marshall, a resolution of the County of Marshall, Kentucky, authorizing the judge executive to make application for and upon approval to enter into an agreement with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, KOHS, to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by KOHS to facilitate and administer the emergency medical dispatch protocols, and to act as the authorized correspondent for this project. This resolution also establishes procurement policy for any KOHS-approved project for the FY 2020 application cycle. Whereas Marshall County, Kentucky desires to make an application for United States Department of Homeland Security and/or Commonwealth of Kentucky funds for a project to be administered by Kentucky Office of Homeland Security. Whereas it is recognized that an application for and approval of Kentucky Office of Homeland Security funds impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the county. Now therefore be it resolved this second day of June 2020 by Marshall County, Kentucky. The judge executive is hereby authorized to execute and furnish all required documentation, including a memorandum of agreement, as may be required by KOHS for the furtherance of the above referenced project, and to act as the authorized correspondent for said project. For the purpose of any KOH-funded projects using FY 2020 funds, the county will use the provisions of KRS 45A for the purchase of equipment and/or services. For any equipment and/or services that exceeds $30,000, the provisions of KRS 45A will apply. Is there a motion to accept the resolution?
I do have a couple questions. Chris, what is the equipment?
It is a piece of equipment that we have. It's emergency medical dispatch protocol. So if you call in with a medical problem, it's what the protocols that we use to assist you until EMS or first responders get there. The current thing that we have has been out of date for about 7 or 8 years. So we're using out-of-date equipment to give medical advice now.
So is it a software or what?
It's a combination of both. It's software and hardware.
Okay. And the maximum cost we'd be out on this is $3,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question?
And that's all this resolution's related to, correct? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a motion on the resolution?
Move we approve the resolution.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Earthquake renewal quote. CAECO, I'll just read this, the 2020-2021 earthquake renewal quote. Member Marsh County Fiscal Court, limit $20 million, deductible $25,000. TIV $40,302,994. 2021 renewal premium $55,698. Please indicate whether you would like to renew coverage. Sign and return no later than June 15th, 2020. Is there a motion to accept the earthquake renewal quote?
Is that on all of our structures, Judge, or just?
Okay, I think the total insured value is $40 million. So, yes.
Thank you.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, item C, annual board appointments. I've got a few today. I will have quite a few over the next several meetings, but for right now, Johnson Creek Water District, Ricky Jones is my appointment to be reappointed for a term on the Johnson Creek Water District.
I spoke with Ricky yesterday for about an hour, and I was very impressed at what he wants to see happen at the Johnson Creek Water Board, so I make a motion we reappoint him.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Possum Trot Sharp Fire Protection District. I'll just read the letter. Dear sir, the term of Tom Munsterman as a member of the Board of Directors of the Possum Trot Sharp Fire Protection District ends June 30th, 2020. Mr. Munsterman does wish to be appointed to this position. The Board of Directors recommends the appointment of Mr. Tom Munsterman for the 3-year term, July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. And that's from Jimmy Dawson, the chairman of the board. I spoke with Ricky Bearden about this, so my appointment would be Tom Munsterman to serve that position.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Palma-Brownsburg Fire Department, Judge Neal, in accordance with KRS 75031, subsection 1A, the appointed trustee Weldon Solomon's term is slated to expire on June 30th, 2020. Mr. Solomon currently serves as the Palma-Brownsburg Fire Protection District Chairman. I have spoken with Mr. Solomon regarding his appointment, and he has indicated he is willing to continue to serve as an appointed trustee, should you wish to reappoint him. So my appointment is Weldon Solomon to a term, 3-year term.
Move we approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. East Marshall Fire Protection. Judge Neal, Jerry Jackson was appointed as a replacement in February of 2020. That term is expiring June 30th, 2020. Jerry would like to continue at that position for a new term. So my appointment for East Marshall Fire Protection would be Jerry Jackson, starting July 1, 2020, for a 3-year term.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll go on to annual lease agreements, item D. We do this every year. This is the lease agreements. Let's see. This is going to be the WAC Pack, West Kentucky Allied Services, Martin County Rescue Squad, and CASA.
Judge,
Yeah.
I just wanted to fill you in with the correspondence I had with, I'm blanking on her name, Whack Pack. Bonnie, thank you,
Yeah.
Kincannon. She had asked about the annual lease agreements, and she typed me an email, and I'll just read it to you so you guys can be informed. We, the WAC Pack, may turn the park back over to the Parks Department after we fulfill the October obligations we have in place. We don't take advantage of people and charge an astronomical rate for using the park, so we don't have the money to pay utilities and have enough to put on events like the chainsaw carving competition. We figure it might be better on us to turn everything back to the park and let them work the 5 bow fishing events and the festival every year, and we would like to continue with the chainsaw carving competition. Would you see how much it would cost the WAC Pack to use the park for each event, and we will see what we would do best for us. There are other people that are interested in doing things there, but no one has liability insurance that y'all require like we do. Please let me know as soon as possible so I can take the information back to the WAC Pack and we can decide how to go forward. So I don't know if we wanted to just go ahead and send that to them and have them make that decision. But obviously, from the sounds of it, they're looking at not putting on 5, or at least running the 5 bow fishing events and the festival. So just something to keep in your mind as we go into these lease agreements.
Can we move the table this one till the next meeting?
Did I?
Yeah, sure. The email or the lease agreement? Sure.
Just do it until, what was the date she mentioned?
She mentioned October,
October.
but I don't know what that pushes. I mean, I don't know if that, it's kind of, if all those events are happening between now and October, it seems like they would run them, but I'm not sure. So I'll get some more clarification from her on that, what that looks like. But the only thing she asked is a copy of the new lease agreement. So I can send her that, and then from there, I guess they'll decide whether they want to go into that agreement or not.
Brittany, you haven't talked to her either, have you?
I didn't know about any of this.
Yeah, this happened late yesterday afternoon, so.
Yeah, I've been talking back and forth with her about some of the things, but not about this specifically.
Yeah.
But I can.
I'm trying to look and see if there's an actual, well, like, she mentioned October, but
Yeah.
see if there's a
Do you know
section where she
what the October event she's talking about, or at least the obligations she has
Is
through
the
October?
Aurora Community Festival?
That's what I was thinking.
They moving the chainsaw carving thing to
Yeah.
October they were going to?
Yeah, they are
Done that
gonna
for
move
them
the
the last
chainsaw.
couple of years.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be this coming weekend, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was she talking about the Parks Department taking over the event?
That's what she mentioned. Everything would go back to the park and let them, assuming the parks, work the 5 fishing tournaments and the festival every year.
I can go ahead and tell you, just for clarity's sake, I do not have the staff to be able to take on events all the way in Aurora. Unfortunately, I would love to, but as it stands right now, I just don't have the staff to be able to take on any more events than we're already running.
Sure.
So however that needs to factor into whatever decisions are made. Without additional staffing, I wouldn't be able to run any more events.
And I guess what she's saying too is if they don't go into the lease, it would basically become our park and we would maintain it anyway.
Would we maintain it now?
Right. We would just maybe put a fee per event for groups to use it.
And that would be fun. I have an event permitting process in place at Mike Miller now, which is in the new, which has been in the past year. So that would be feasible for us to kind of carry that over to any of our day use parks. There's actually like an event application type process where they go over the layout and all of the legal and liability requirements and everything. So that would be doable for us to just do it on an event type basis and
Yeah.
have them go through that same application process that I have events do at Mike Miller.
And not staff it. It would basically be just them using the facilities for their event.
Yes, that would totally be doable.
Do you know, would that require the same liability policy for them for an event policy? Because, I mean, I hate to see them quit doing things down there. Aurora needs the help.
I agree. I really want to make sure that we, keep events happening in Aurora, and they do such a great job of putting on those events. So Jason is typically who determines our liability level that we need to set for all of that. So I would defer to you on what.
Well, for these events, WACPAC doesn't provide a whole lot of staffing, do they?
I don't know how many people they have.
Isn't it usually the organization that takes care of everything?
There's probably,
I honestly am not for sure to be able to say 100% because I haven't been out there when they do the events. But I think they pretty much organize it and run it and everything themselves.
How many are in WACPAC?
That I don't know either. I can meet with Bonnie this week and kind of get a feel for, exactly what we're looking at, how many are in the WACPAC, what all is going into it, and kind of get a feel for what kind of liability we're looking at, and then I can relay all of that to you to kind of help make that decision.
Yeah, why don't we let Brittany and Bonnie get.
We can
come back.
hold that off till next meeting.
I'll have all that together for the next meeting.
thank you.
All right, the lease agreement, if I'm not mistaken, the only thing that really changes on this is the date. So these are the same lease agreements with our tenants, West Kentucky Allied, the Rescue Squad, and CASA. So do we, as of today, there's 3. Can we just make a motion to accept these 3 as stated? Kentucky Allied Services.
Let me ask
Yeah.
one question here. I know the Rescue Squad, we know that wouldn't be one that we would, but you had mentioned yesterday potential of selling property, the Main Street property. Would that be one of the ones that would be potentially on the table so that we're not, is it costing us
Which one?
the 11, whatever that is, the West Kentucky Allied?
They're in here.
They're
Yeah.
upstairs.
Oh, I thought it was talking about like across the road. Okay.
Oh, no, that's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going to sell the courthouse.
We can entertain
and-
that if you want to.
And that was.
If stuff gets that desperate.
That, with the.
I was thinking it was the one across the, all right. I move we approve the
Just-
3 leases.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. As far as, Monty, the discussions yesterday, that was just something that I threw out there as far as the discussion, but obviously that's going to take a little bit more detailed
Yeah,
discussion on that.
I thought it was a standalone, and if we needed to have some kind of clause, an out, if you were to list it, so, okay.
Bid opening, judicial building janitorial.
An advertisement placed in the Marshall County Tribune Courier Tuesday, May 26, 2020. Marshall County Fiscal Court will be accepting bids for janitorial services at the Marshall County Judicial Building at 80 Judicial Drive, Benton, Kentucky 42025. Bids must be delivered to the Judge Executive's office at 1101 Main Street, Benton, Kentucky 42025, or emailed to brad.warning@marshallcountyky.gov no later than 12 p.m. on Monday, June 1st, 2020. Bid specifications can be obtained in the Judge Executive's office by emailing brad.warning@marshallcountyky.gov. And we only received one from Magic Steam, which is who we're in contract with right now, for $10,000 a month.
We've got 30 days, is that right, to look at this bid?
I think we remember yesterday, I think we budgeted 72 in that line.
Is there anything prohibiting us from reaching out to service providers? Get with Jason on the
Yeah, I
proper
mean,
way to do that since we put this out for bids.
sure.
I think we need to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we posted it on our Facebook page, and I know last time we bid for it, I made several phone calls to people, and we had a lot more, but they varied in the scope of what they bid. I mean, it's very specific on what the AOC requires in our building, so I know Magic Steam put in their bid everything that is required, but they also supply all the cleaning supplies, toiletries, paper towels, hand soap, trash bags, and hand sanitizer. So that's part of their bid as well. So if we look at other ones, and I guess, Jason, would they just need to submit more, or?
Well, I mean, if you want to, what I would suggest doing procedurally would be to reject this bid today, and then that opens up the door to try to find somebody cheaper.
Some others.
Yeah.
So I guess at that point, if you guys can direct me to reach out, or if you know of some people, if they want to contact me, I can give them all the information they need to know how to submit those.
If you can't find somebody, I have no reason to doubt that they're still gonna be there as a backup.
Did we put in, did we look at actually hiring an employee?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, we wanted to get this bid out there first, and then,
Where are we at with the current one? Are we a month to month with them or what?
well, no, it was through the end of June.
Through the end of June.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to reject that bid.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. There was discussion as far as seeing if there's an employee that we can hire, if it gets to a point where if we can hire an employee to provide this service as well. Item F, ordinance 2020-03 budget FY 2021, first reading.
Okay. Ordinance 2020-03.
Before you start reading, we went back and looked at the bonds and the amount of monies in the bonds, what we discussed yesterday. The bonds total 7.2 as far as moving the 320 as we discussed in the road department. At this time, those bonds are earmarked. The language may be in there, but the monies are earmarked. So we felt it was best to leave it as is for the first reading. We're going to have further discussion on the road department's needs and as far as those, where we're going to pull the monies. That makes sense?
I did not think that we had every bit of that money earmarked. I don't remember.
Yeah, the actual, you got the, can you pull up the actual request with Ross? The projects, Southwest 1, sewer and water, that's the only bid project that MERCO, the court approved MERCO for that. I think that was projected by VFW at $2.2 million. That was $2.4 million on the bid. The 911 upfit was at $2.5 million. The sewer project in Draftonville, which is a projection from the engineers, at $1.8 million. The fourth one is the Jonathan Creek water at $500,000. And I just bring that up because when we were discussing that yesterday, I know she had in the budget at 7.5, but it came in at what, 7,150,000. And if you total up those numbers, it's 7.2. Now the projects in Draftonville and Jonathan Creek, obviously we haven't put that out to bid. But that's why we just got those sitting in the account, investment account. But I just throw that out there that, now, there are some, we did look this is the first reading. We did look at that. I think we talked about the percent of the budget. I think it's 3%. When you add in the 320 and some of the other potential changes, because the concern we have is the substantial change to the ordinance, because this is an ordinance. We don't feel that those changes, and we're moving monies from within the budget, so I'm not worried about that being an issue. I know that was a discussion that we had, getting into an ordinance and a substantial change. So, but we do need to have some further discussion. I just bring that to your attention. I know we talked about that yesterday, and we need to look into this a little bit further. I don't want us to make any decisions today and those monies not actually be there. So I just put that out there, but Erica, if you just want to read what you got for us.
Okay, ordinance number 2020-03, first reading budget summary. An ordinance relating to the annual budget and appropriations, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Kentucky, Section 1, the following budget is adopted for the fiscal year 2020 to 2021, and the amounts stated are appropriate for the purposes indicated. Budget of Marshall County, fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021. Summary analysis of appropriations. 01 General Fund. General Government, $4,305,860. Protection to Persons and Properties, $957,538. General Health and Sanitation, $316,800. Social Services, $6,800. Recreation and Culture, $714,431. Debt Service, $59,570. Capital Projects, $170,000. General Services, $493,000. Reserves, $7,582,455.45. Fringe Benefits, $357,300. Road Fund, Transportation Facilities and Service, we have that set at 0. Road Fund, 6,100 Roads, $2,432,096. Other Transportation Facilities and Services, 0. Fringe Benefits, $495,900. For a total road fund of $2,927,996. Jail fund, protection to persons and property, $1,688,355. Debt service, 0. Capital project, 0. Fringe benefits, $753,200. Total jail fund, $2,441,555. Grant fund is set at 0. 911. Protection to persons and property, $572,630. Fringe benefits, $238,500. Total 911, $811,130. General Government, $60,000, and I'm taking the Occupational Tax Fund. General Government, $60,000. Investments, $200,000, for a total Occupational Tax Administrator Fund, $260,000. Animal Shelter Donation Fund, General Operations, $30,000, for a total for the Animal Shelter Donation Fund of $30,000. Sheriff's Fund, Protection to Persons and Properties, $2,225,000, for the total of the Sheriff's Fund, $2,225,000. Alcohol, Beverage, and Control Fund, ABC Administrator, $13,000. Policing and Enforcement, $415,500. Total Alcohol, Beverage Control Fund, $428,500. Building Inspection Fund, Building Inspection, $136,900. Fringe Benefits, $6,400, for a total Building Inspection Fund, $143,300, for a total of all funds of $24,231,235.45. Section 2, this ordinance shall be published in the Tribune Courier newspaper by title and summary within 30 days following adoption. Section 3, this ordinance becomes effective upon passage and publication. Notice of availability. All interested persons and organizations in Marshall County are hereby notified that a copy of the county's proposed budget is in full is available for public inspection at the office of the county judge executive during normal business hours.
I also want to bring to the court's attention, yesterday in the budget workshop, we talked, I think there was a question regarding the employee, Jessica Trees, and the budget showed her in the 911 budget and not the parks budget. So Director Freeman received a letter from Jessica, and I just want to read this so that it's clear to people in the community. But this is from Jessica, and I, Jessica Treese, would love to stay with Marshall County 911 Dispatch full-time and be able to make a full career out of it. I voluntarily accept taking a pay cut to pursue my duties with 911 Dispatch. Thank you, Jessica Treese. The question yesterday that was posed was the original discussion that we had in our budget workshop back when we were doing the Zoom. Was there was an opening in 911. The amount of overtime that is being paid, I think Chris is gone, but the amount of overtime that's being paid for that position being open, and obviously during the COVID, making those changes, and the parks being shut down, they moved Jessica in so that she can get spun up as quickly as possible in case COVID were to hit the staff in 911 and decisions would have to be made as far as personnel. There would be additional staffing to cover shortfalls. From what I gathered from Chris is that she was doing well. The morale was up. She was enjoying the opportunity to work with 911. With the budget that was originally proposed, it didn't have the night shift for the park, and that was her position. So she was offered into this fiscal year a position to fill that 911 vacancy. There was some confusion on that, but what came of that, I don't think people understand that this was a pay cut for this young lady, about $6,000 in a pay cut. So you can imagine with some of the confusion of being an immediate change, when we're discussing a budget for the next fiscal year, obviously it wouldn't take effect until July 1. So I say that so that people understand that this young lady is taking a pay cut to go to 911. There's a lot of misinformation put out there about 911, that they're making this grandiose amount of money, and they're not. If you look at what we have approved as a fiscal court, you can look into the budget and you can see that this individual employee is voluntarily taking a pay cut because she sees that that job opportunity within 911. So I just want to lay that out there, clarify it so that everybody understands it. You're hearing it from the fiscal court. There's no misrepresentation or misinterpretation of it, and this is coming straight from the employee. And I know it can be a hardship for an employee to take about a $6,000 pay cut, but the fact that she sees the vision of where this agency is going, I think as a county government we should applaud individuals like that. And I know there's others within our budget that are being asked to do a job with less funding, and I just want to make sure that that is clear to people, that we have people in our ranks that will step up and take those positions.
What is her pay rate there at 911?
$13 an hour. I remember. She's dropping from close to $20 pay rate to $13 pay rate. If I remember correctly.
$13.70.
Thank you.
And I'll just reiterate, she's not the only one in our county government that are, I know yesterday, talking about employees, we even had some of the department heads here who can obviously be making more money somewhere else, but they want to be here because this is their community. So I just put that out there. Ordinance 2020-04, budget amendment, first reading.
Okay, I thought I would give a little explanation of all the things on this budget amendment before I read it, and that way if you guys have questions, we can answer them. All right, so the first thing that needed to be amended into this year's budget was county road aid. So what was budgeted originally was 80 of 80-20 money. What we ended up with was 160. So Wendy took the other 80 that we had not anticipated, and she split that between bridges and county paving to cover some spending there. The second item was insurance proceeds, that's the 52 that you see there, and that is what we received from the insurance for the 2 sirens. So those were put back in to cover where we replaced those. The third one there, the court rental, 50,000, that is reimbursements from the AOC from items that were unanticipated fixes this year. So that went right back into that line to help cover what wasn't budgeted. The next one, the 7-Eleven, that is the money from the school district for their portion of sanitation. And it is gone back into our investment account, the bond investment account. That's where it's going back into. And then we have DRA money that we have received. We did not anticipate that. And of course, that goes against the capital projects where that project is being coded from. And then the final amount, the 53, that is insurance monies just that we've gotten throughout the year from vehicle claims. And that all goes back into our enterprise line to fund our fleet.
So the 7-Eleven was received from the school district?
Right. Mhm.
Is that not being paid on the KIA loan?
As it is here, it's put back into the bond investments. So if that's something that you all want to change, then that would be something that you all needed to direct me to do.
We've got some further discussion about these monies. I know one option was to look at paying off the land at the IDA using this 7-Eleven that was that we just received. The TVA in lieu is $152,000. That each year, I think it was 2 years ago when the General Assembly passed that 6% for those TVA counties, they can put $152,000 towards economic development. With the wastewater and water line extension that MERCO's doing right now, that's a $2.4 million contract. I think we just approved to extend that, but also the engineering cost was about $20,000 increase. But taking that TVA in lieu monies and committing it to the $152,000, committing it to the debt service of the bonds for Southwest One wastewater and sewer line extension. That's an option. That would put, obviously, it would reduce the 465 by 152,000. But we can discuss that further.
I mean, I think it needs to happen this way personally so that we can decide as a group what to do with what's best, whether to pay that down or to be able to use that in some other fashion in a year like we're about to have.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I would move to approve this budget amendment.
Yeah. Did you read the increase expenditure? Did you finish reading?
I actually have not read
Oh,
this
you
yet,
weren't
and
done?
it's the first reading, so I think that the voting will
Well,
be the next reading,
time.
right?
How about that?
Okay.
Put me
All
down.
righty, I'll read it now then. Ordinance 2020-04, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Marshall has received additional funds. Now be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County that Section 1, the annual budget for fiscal year 2019-2020 is amended to A, increase revenue accounts as follows. The Road Fund County Road Aid of $80,000. The General Fund Insurance Proceeds, $52,803.68. The General Fund Court Rental, $50,289.67. General Fund Miscellaneous, $711,572.65. General Fund DRA, $30,910. General Fund Insurance Proceeds, $53,636.01, for a total increased revenue of $979,212.01. B, increase expenditure accounts as follows. Road Fund Road Department Bridges, $12,635. Road Fund County Paving, $67,365. General Fund OEM Generator Tower Maintenance, $52,803.68. General Fund Maintenance Building and Grounds, $50,289.67. General Fund Investment, $711,572.65. General Fund Capital Projects, $30,910. General Fund Fiscal Court Enterprise Lease Vehicles, $53,636.01, for a total increased expenditure of $979,212.01. Section 2, the amounts added to the revenue and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes.
All right, we'll move on to item H, appropriations transfer.
Okay, me again. All right, so you all have two documents that have transfers on them. One is this appropriations transfers that you all are used to looking to. So I'll kind of explain these as well. I'll just do the easiest explanation first, which is the bottom. Transient tax needs to go to the tourism department. It's $4,928.19. Starting up at the top, the first three that you see are appropriation transfers to cover, we have received a bill from Kentucky Retirement System for an employee who worked several years ago, who's had their retirement recalculated, and we have to come up with some of that money. So that's that first section there. And I pulled that from the assistant treasurer's salary line because we had some funds there to pay it with. The next section, it's the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next 7 lines are where we have moved the occupational tax investment to cover the multipurpose building, and then also to cover our a couple of other lines. So the first one you see is the Judicial Center Janitorial Services, $40,000. So to clean up the budgeted numbers as we go into the last month of the fiscal year, we're going to have to submit our report for the year to DLG. So we're going to, of course, try to make sure every budgeted line is not negative. So by the end of the year, we will have spent $40,000 more in janitorial services for the judicial building than we had budgeted. So 40 has to go there. Next line is the same. It's the Judicial Center, where we have spent that money for repairs or for whatever else we have done down there that has come up that was not budgeted. The generator for OEM, that's actually, that line is where the sirens came out of. So just a second ago, we talked about how we received the insurance money to cover the sirens. They cost about $4,000 more than what the insurance covered. So there's that amount of money. And then $8,000 we still need in the enterprise lease line. Of course, the multipurpose I just said. And then the last there is the bond debt service. So for our bonds, yesterday we had a payment of $77,000 that represented interest and fees that was not budgeted for this year. Our first actual payment that has principal is in December, and of course that will be in the new budget. And then the last three represent movement from the bond, the last two, from the bond investment into the capital projects line to fund Southwest 1. Okay, so then the second set that looks like this, that says transfers, that's just to do all the things I just told you, but to actually move the bank money. So this paper is to move in the budget, and this paper is to move the actual cash. The only thing that's on this form to move the actual cash that we didn't just discuss is the road fund. There's a transfer from the general fund to the road fund of $193, and that's for the flex funds. They were deposited into the general fund, and they should have been in the road fund. So that's just to move that money. Yes, please.
Are these balances prior to that budget amendment? So like the enterprise?
Yes, so these balances that are on here are prior to the budget amendment, since we have not had a second
$53,000
reading.
put in there.
Right.
Okay.
So that's why you'll see some of the balances on the end are still negative.
Yeah.
Because the budget amendment has to go into effect.
So we would need action on the budget appropriations transfer and the interfund separately.
Second.
So just to make sure the motion is to approve budget appropriations transfer. And the second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we would need a motion on intra-fund transfer.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Last item is payment of the bills.
Pay the bills.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No further. Yeah, let's do that. What's everybody's schedule look like? I think you're going out of town.
Yes, I will be gone next week, but I can Zoom in and be here via Zoom. I can Zoom in. I don't mind to.
What
Well, we
about
could-
the week of the 15th?
Yeah.
Well, the 16th is when we meet again, but we can do a budget work on the 15th. Are you here on the 15th?
Yeah, I'm here.
Monday?
Is that enough time for you all? A day before the second reading?
it'll just have to be. So, yes.
Or we can do it on the 16th. We have court,
Yeah.
and then we can do a special call meeting.
In all reality, we'll probably need a special call meeting before the end of the month anyway to pay bills at the last minute to finish out this fiscal year, if that helps you make your decision on how you want to.
The only bad
Schedule
day
things.
I've got coming up is the 12th.
Yes,
Well,
and
if
we
it's the
will
only thing
need
you
that
got
first
coming up.
reading
That's
of the
my bad
amendment
day.
back.
Okay. Why don't we look at the 16th after fiscal court? Does that work?
Yep.
So we'll just do a budget workshop on the 16th of June, immediately following.
Before we adjourn, I'd like to thank Wendy for her service. Today is her last meeting, and she's done an incredible job working for how many years for the road department? 29 years. So it must have been as a like freshman in high school when she started there, something
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, I don't have a watch on, but. Oh,
There you go.
that's not including the 29, by the way, because I know that for a certain. But you've done an incredible job. I appreciate being able to work with you over the last.
You have.
Need to have a
Year and a
nameplate
half.
ceremony
Oh.
and a picture.
Did we burn it, or what do we do with it?
Gotta have pictures.
Well, why don't we do that?
It's been an honor to work with you, and
I appreciate
appreciate
Gonna miss you.
everything.
We can't recycle it, so you get to keep it.
Done a good job, Wendy.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?